It's going to be Thursday, November 18th, and so this is both regular and advanced. We're doing the same thing today. We're learning about similes and metaphors. It's going to, well, one, if you're a home child, then you're going to need to go onto Canvas and print off a little papery thing, because you're going to need that for today. Living children, they already have theirs in front of them. It's just the dead kids, because we're going to be filling in a thing on there. Or, if you're at home, you can do it on a separate piece of paper and then copy it over. That sounds like more work to you guys. Tomorrow is last day to turn in cans for the drive in order to get points. Grade-wise on the test, overall was good. I'm not going over them because one, it was longer, and then two, didn't really need to because you guys did fairly well on it. The two questions that we struggled the most on would be?
The grammar.
Grammar still better than before, but it still ended up being our thing. Today, grammar plays a role because you have to know nouns, adjectives, and verbs when we get into similes and metaphors. So if you don't know them, it's fine. It just makes it a bit more of a struggle for you. And then, let's see. Then also, those of you who have borrowed the spinners, if I can hear them, I charge you points, just so that you're aware. What goes to your benefit is that I am old, but I do have good enough hearing to hear some of this. So if I hear it, I get to be mean to you. And then to their end, for those of you who have had other kids tell you what we're doing in class today, yay, it's a learny day. It should be somewhat entertaining. Covered this, home children, if you're missing a thing, I'll contact again, and living children. I send email going out tomorrow, so just if you don't want email, just get it done. If you don't mind email, you're fine.
I'm not understanding point.
On papery thing, the one that's in front of you, put name on it, because if you leave it here, I'll give it to you for free if your name is on it. I just found one on my floor, actually on the desk over here, which I have now put over there. Luckily, the kid did put his name on it, so I don't have to be mean to him. When you put name on it, I would do first and last name. If you're going to ask me where to put name, I will make fun of you because there is a giant screen behind me with an arrow on it, thus causing me to mock a child. By the way, we are back to me getting to mock children today. Because we're going to not just me reading, it's me doing like a teaching thing, and for some reason, me teaching seems to involve me making fun of kids. Aw, look at you guys raising your hands and just yelling out loud to see which kids I get to make fun of first. Don't worry, we'll get there in a moment. And then we're going to be filling in the notes thing over on that side. Not the whole notes thing, because I don't want you to pass out. We're going to do about half the notes today, then half the notes tomorrow. The other part of today is going to be spent getting kids to do a learning thing. Those of you with questions, one moment, because you have to copy down a thing, will just be to save time. Here's the things you're copying down, and then as we're doing that, to buy you time, I'll then answer questions for you. Do you have to copy this down? No. But if you don't copy it down, then when we get to it later in class, I ask you a question, and you go, I don't know. I go, look at your notes, and you go, mine's empty. And I go, oh, now I get to charge you points. So as long as you have it memorized, you're fine. If it's not memorized, copy it down. Because again, you get to use it. Well, one, when we do the out loud learning here in a little bit. Two, the homework tomorrow. Three, the quiz next week. If it's written down, you get to cheat off yourself. If it's not written down, then you challenge yourself. I wouldn't challenge you if I could avoid it. Here are the two things we're going to have you write down. Just the thing that says the simile definition and the metaphor definition on your handout where it says simile and metaphor. A simile is where we compare two things using like or as. I would also recommend circling the like or as, because like the big thing you want to look for, if it's the like or as part of it, that'll make your life much, much easier. And if you turn your paper over to the other side, there's a whole section that says notes with pass like that. Don't roll your eyes at me when I'm trying out. And so a simile is where you compare two things using like or as. As an example, I would go, let's see. Your hair is like a dead raccoon on your head. I'm comparing your hair to a raccoon. You talk as much as Siri when it's broken and keeps going. So I'm comparing you to a broken Siri. Your head is as empty as a blow pop without the gum inside. You've lost as many points at, well, no, that would just be you guys losing points. And that's just the kids turning around attacking other children. As long as that wasn't you, then you... So again, using like or as to compare two things. That's pretty much what a simile does. What we're going to practice doing is making that whole comparison between one thing and another. Your shirt is a giant pile, so Your shirt is as white as snow. Comparing your shirt to snow, saying that they're both white in some way. Metaphor is a slightly stronger one. The metaphor is the tougher, bigger older brother, bigger sister, bigger non-binary, whatever it's going to be. It's the bigger one. Whereas basically you don't use like or as. It's tougher to figure out because there's no keywords. But it's where you compare two things by saying one thing is the other thing.
Wait, no.
I'm not switching. I'm moving out of ways because people can get there, so don't freak out too much like there. Your arms are the twigs of a tree. So I'm just saying your arms are this other thing. Your shirt is a volcano because your shirt's full of red or something like that. That was just a random one.
That's bad.
It probably was not my. The floor is the night sky. So that way is the fact that it's like all of the black and the gray and stuff like that. That's what I'm making the comparison on that one. And so that's what I'm looking. So you just say one thing is the other thing. Simile, like or as, metaphor, you say it is the other thing. Max?
Mr. Brovicast's forehead has more lines than the Emancipation Proclamation.
You're close. If you put has more lines, that makes it a statement. So if you say Mr. Broviac is like the Emancipation Proclamation,
That's
like lines,
Ooh, that's like
that would be a simile. Nice one. So that's what you want to go for. And when you put, otherwise it becomes a statement. So if you just put has more, it doesn't work quite as well. Now this screen is getting ready to disappear.
Wait,
We're going to go.
No,
Back.
wait.
So it says create 2 examples of.
That was to try and be helpful because I've been trying to give you guys examples, and so if you want to do your own, that's fine. If you'd rather embrace being lazy, more power to you also.
But the thing is, it says 6 plus total. Oh, with the other thing. Smart.
Counting is good stuff. I hum.
Can I take a picture real quick?
Be quick, sure.
Wait.
And there. Those of you painting your nails, got this all copied down and feel strong?
Yeah.
Making sure. Alright. Below the definitions, you're going to see it has 3 little alligator headlines. Those are the 3 little notes we're going to do here. These are the 3 main mistakes kids make with similes and metaphors. So I'm going to try and help you not make the same mistakes that other kids have made. So all I want you to do is write the big things. I'm going to do little things below them. You can skip the little things. That's just how I'll explain it. As long as you have big thing, big thing, big thing.
All these lines right there.
Where Greg is correct on those lines. So right there, where your fingers are. So, are you with me? Yes. All right. First one. You have to compare 2 nouns. This is that grammar thing I was telling you about. So you can't compare like a noun to a verb or a noun to an adjective. If you don't know what nouns are, that does make this tougher. If you don't know what verbs and adjectives are, that's going to make it. A noun is a person, place, or thing. So like a noun is a thing that you could make contact with in some cases. Although there's things like your brain. You can touch your brain. That's scary. But brain should be a noun. But it gives you that same idea. So just don't compare noun to verb or noun to adjective. As an example, you can't say your shirt is soft. That's not a metaphor. Because it's an adjective. Soft is an adjective. You can say your shirt is a soft cloud. Now I'm comparing shirt to cloud. So you have to make sure you're comparing a noun to a noun. You can't say the boy is fast because fast is an adjective. You can say the boy is a fast cheetah. Now I'm comparing boy to cheetah. So as we practice it, it'll get easier and you'll start figuring them out. Is that you?
I have a random question.
Hold on to it. Then the 2 nouns cannot be similar. They can't be the same thing. This is one that messes kids up a lot when we have to start writing our own tomorrow. Whatever noun you're comparing to, make sure it's a different thing. As an example, last year I had a kid say, the whale was like a really big fish in the water. I'm like, a whale is a fish. Like, no, it's a mammal. And I'm like, okay, you're right. A whale is a mammal, but it's like a fish. It lives in the water. You can put a saddle on it and ride it. So you can't you compare a whale to a rock. You compare a whale to a submarine. So you just can't compare it to a fish because they're too similar to each other. Along those same lines, I had a kid last year say, I was running down the hallway and when I tripped and fell, the ground was as hard as a floor. And I'm like, it was like the floor and the ground are the same. Like, no, they're spelled different. I'm like, yes, they are spelled different, but they're the same. So floor and ground are pretty much the same. And the big one that throws kids off is they try to compare people. You can't compare a person to something they could be. You can't compare me to a teacher because I am a teacher. It seems to surprise people. They're like, Mr. Brovicast is as evil as a mean teacher. I'm like, I am a teacher. I can't say I is as fast as a cross-country runner because I don't know. He may run cross-country.
I is a whole person.
So
You
again,
need to watch your mouth.
if there's a chance he could be cross-country runner, then you can't compare them. So that's what I'm looking
Mr.
for.
Broviak is the spawn of Satan.
Would work because even though I'm evil, I mean technically,
They got
if you're
nice.
not sure on that one, then I've done something right. And the last one,
Ooh.
do not use the word looks in a good similar metaphor. It makes it weak, and I'll make fun of you and call you a globetrotter. It just makes them not very strong.
You globies.
So
The second worst insult
instead of that dog looks like an angry lion, it just pull out the word looks, and it becomes that dog is like an angry lion or that dog is an angry lion. Looks just means you're not committing to it. You're just being a
That
wussy.
insult is the second
So.
worst insult you can have.
Max,
First is versus.
Ihum's ego is as big as the moon.
he does have a big ego. Hi, hum.
Can you say this class is ghetto or the ghettos?
The problem is by doing that, you're not making a metaphor. You're making a statement because you're turning it into an adjective.
Dang it.
It's true.
What's that?
Barsoom.
First of all, it's a floor ground, and the fish is a fishman.
So
What difference?
if you've not copied this down in that middle area, this is getting ready to disappear in a moment
Wait,
also.
let me take a picture.
That's why I was buying you time during all of that.
But I don't know where to write it.
Yeah, me neither. What?
The very next area, which has the big arrows.
But that's a
Worst
simile
insult you
and
can
stuff.
have. You look like Barsoom.
Yes.
Very
This is-
next.
We're all doing similes and metaphors.
Wait, so what is it? So we're supposed to write here?
Nope, we're not doing that yet.
Here?
Just there in the middle.
Dang it, Grandma.
Can you make sure you don't delete this YouTube video?
I will not delete this YouTube video.
Grandma.
What's that word y'all be using?
Now, it'll be up there for a moment. So I'm going to describe to you, for those of you who have not had kids tell you about our game today, here's how our game is going to work. We played this game a little bit way back when I was in the other room with you. We did it one day and it only kind of worked. It's impact learning. The way it works is on the next screen, I'm going to be showing you example sentences. Each sentence is either a simile, a metaphor, or none of the above, because I'm going to give you a random sentence to see if you really understand. I'm going to randomly call on you, or you can volunteer if you feel brave. You are going to have to tell us, is that sentence simile, metaphor, none of the above? Then, what two nouns are being compared? So if I say, your shirt is white snow, shirt and snow. And then the third thing is, why are we comparing them? So am I comparing your shirt to snow because it's cold? Is it because we can make a snowman out of it? Is it because it's white? So you have to figure out why they're comparing them. The part where the game comes in is, if you answer wrong, so if I go, the shirt is white snow, and Andre's like, that's a simile. That'd be the wrong answer. Wrong answers impact everybody. The way they impact everybody is a big, loud, bangy sound. So, home children, this is where you can adjust your volume.
I'm ready now.
Now, here's where it starts getting fun for me. If a kid gives the wrong answer and you cover your ears, I don't bang, but you then have to answer and explain why they're wrong. So as soon as you cover your ears, I call on you. If you falsely cover your ears, it costs you a point, because then you're lying to me. So I call on you, go, oh, you covered your ears. What's wrong? And you just go, I don't. I charge you a point. So you have to be able to explain to me why it's going to be wrong. Also realize I'm old with bad eyesight. So as soon as your hands go near your ears, I go ahead and charge you a point because I can't tell because of my old person eyesight. So that's
amazing fluffy neck.
whatever you want to do. Your points, you make your choice. If it helps, the easiest way to play is to not get any answers wrong. You have the notes right in front of you that you have now copied down. And so as long as you know what's going on, you should be fine. All right. And then Elizabeth, just so you are aware, you have dropped that roughly 4 times so far. Just keeping you in the loop. All right. We also, I will do them in sets of 2. We will do brave person and then not as brave person. The brave person is because you volunteered without seeing what the sentence is yet. The not as brave person, you get to see your sentence before you go. So those will be the 2 we get to go through on that one. So, do we have a volunteer to be our first brave person? Ooh. Boykin it is, who says he got this. All right. Ready? Me too. Oh wait, before we got there. So I'm going to be using similes and metaphors. In one of them, I talk about a mime, and then I realized some kids didn't know what a mime was.
That Mr. Brovicast?
This is the mime, the white face.
Who doesn't know what a mime is?
Just trying to be nice to people, not judging. Then you guys know what these are?
Yes, salmon.
Sardine.
Sardines. So they're the ones you pack like a whole bunch of them. Those are sardines.
Next.
All right, Boykin. Ready now? Me too. Oh, you do have a timer, which is you'll see the stick go up like this, but it's a really heavy stick, and I'm only so strong. So when it starts getting up there, I just can't hold it, and then it comes down. So that becomes your timer. Number 1.
I'm gonna run out of this.
That silly clown has hair like a rainbow. So Andre, simile, metaphor, or nothing.
Simile.
All right, I like the confidence. I agree.
Yes! Oh, wait, how? Thank you.
It's just like.
So you Andre, what 2 nouns? I just want the nouns. What 2 nouns are being? Elizabeth, are you just
Stretching.
okay? Well, let me stretch also. I like stretching. Stretching's good. We're just stretching. Andre, what are our 2 nouns being compared? Clown and rainbow. Oh.
No,
I was just making sure.
just my hand back.
Well, you probably should have because that's wrong.
Oh!
We're not comparing a clown to a rainbow.
Yeah, you guys.
Oh, it's hair.
So what are the 2 answers, Andre?
Hair.
Hair and rain.
Bro, put that down.
Looks like a bird.
I did not say that.
And then Andre, one last thing. Why are we comparing the hair to a rainbow? What do they have in common? They are both
Colorful.
good job, Andre. Simple as that.
It says
Zane,
if you do that one more time, take off and run out of the
Zane, it's not my fault. Kids get the answers wrong.
Do you have a Nick's
And
Folger?
do we have a person to volunteer for a second one, or do I get to pick him? All right. Lightsy, you ready? His nose is a large red tomato.
Oh, he's really red.
Go.
Metaphor. Description. Comparing what 2 nouns?
Nose and large.
You're not Nick. You're just a kid losing points for yelling. It's getting heavy. Nose and red tomato?
No.
Oh, you're not covering. We're good, right? Just making sure.
That's
All right,
3
good.
words. Stop it.
Are you okay with that?
It's yes, they're fine.
So what is it again?
It's nose and tomato.
There you go.
That was close. I almost got to swing.
I see.
Yeah.
I knew it once I said it that I was
Because red is an adjective.
My prayer.
If you include red, then that would be a slam.
Oh my god.
Why are we comparing the nose to a tomato? They are both.
Tomato.
Have you ever seen a tomato?
Yes.
What color are they?
Red.
What color do you think his nose is?
Red.
Good job, Mike.
Purple.
Don't do this.
And
Cat.
cat.
Do this.
Thanks for volunteering for the next one. I saw you raising your hand in your heart. That was you. That was your heart. Feel strong, cat. And
Who you think gonna
the man. Oh, it's supposed to be a clown. They're describing the clowns have like those big floppy feet. That's where we're going. The man's feet are long yellow bananas. The man's feet are long yellow bananas. I need confidence.
Metaphor.
Set.
Oh,
With confidence. Metaphor. Barsoom, why are you calling her a liar?
Because I know it.
Okay.
It's not. It's none. It's not.
Don't
say.
Because
shut up,
you can't
Andy.
compare 2 things as the same thing.
He says it's nothing. You can't compare 2 things that are the same thing.
How are being and bananas?
He said the feet.
I'm getting ready to.
Cat, you get to make your choice. Do you believe him or you go with your own?
Don't believe Arson.
Don't believe him.
Don't
Don't
believe
believe
it.
him.
Believe him.
I'm thinking what I originally said.
Which is
Hurry
what?
up.
Believe
The metaphor.
It's correct. Good job.
Give them.
Alright, you need to
Marcel.
start.
I was stupid.
Cat. What two nouns are being compared?
Feet and bananas.
Feet and bananas.
Yeah.
Oh my god. You might have seen me
Cat.
running in the
Why are we comparing the clown's feet to bananas?
Because they're both yellow and blonde.
Good job again, Cat. I was proud of you. All right. Aw. Tomorrow we will pick up more. Home children. No homework today. I'm pushing the homework off till tomorrow.